Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era is a fantasy turn-based strategy game about towns, heroes, armies, and tactical battles. Of the recent releases in the series, it comes closest to the greatness of HoMM 3, but sadly, it's not on macOS. But I found workarounds, tested them on my M3 Max MacBook Pro, and now I'm going to tell you about them, starting with the two best ones and then moving on to several other valid solutions. But before you choose which one you want, you'll have to buy the game. To help you, we'll leave links in the description to where you can purchase it, and we'll also add links to discounts when such are available. Now let's get to the ways to play it. Here are the two methods that gave us best results. Crossover is hands down the best non-cloud method to play Windows games on Mac in 2026. It will give you the ability to play anywhere you want without internet limitations, and scales better with newer Macs. But you're not going to get anywhere near the graphical fidelity or performance you'll have with cloud solutions. Also, with this method, you can use mods for single-player games, and there's a 14-day free trial. Crossover is the first method I'd look at for Olden Era, because this is exactly the kind of game where local play makes sense. It's turn-based, it is not brutally demanding, and the early reports are actually encouraging. On my M3 Max MacBook Pro with 36 gigs, at 1440p and high settings, I mostly got above 60 FPS. Based on reports from other users and my own testing, I'd say that a sensible baseline for this game would be an M1 Pro with 16 GB, while base M1 machines might still be viable if you lower the settings enough. The main limitation is that large, zoomed-out adventure map views can dip more than battles, and early access updates can always shift compatibility. To use Crossover, click the link in the description, enter your email, and download the app. Then, after you install Crossover, you must click the Try Now option for the 14-day trial. If you need a longer tutorial, visit our video on that. Just note that the experience with Crossover can sometimes vary between updates, so don't be surprised if it suddenly starts to break the game. If this happens, check our site for the detailed instructions, or you'll have to research this on your own. The second method we recommend is called Boosteroid, and it's the cheapest cloud gaming service that's actually any good. This is the most plug-and-play solution that we found. The main draw of Boosteroid and cloud gaming in general is that your machine doesn't matter so long as you can supply it with around 40 megabits of stable internet. You can crank up everything to max even in 4K, and you should be more than fine. Boosteroid is the easier route if you just want to play Olden Era without thinking about compatibility layers, bottles, renderers, or updates. It is a good cloud fit because the game is turn-based, so a little latency is much less painful than it would be in a shooter or racing game. The experience I got with it was smooth and sharp as long as my connection stayed stable. The biggest plus here is that it lets you lean on higher visual settings without your Mac doing the heavy lifting. The real caveat is the usual cloud one. Slower or unstable connection means compression, blur, or input delay while moving around the map. Still, for anyone who wants the cleanest setup and does not care about local player mods, Boosteroid is the safer plug-and-play option. All you have to do to start gaming is follow the link in the description, register for the service, and buy a subscription. Then just search for the game and click play. It's all pretty easy, but we have a how-to tutorial if you need it, and an overview of the service if you want something more in-depth to make up your mind. Whichever approach you choose, the suggestions in this section can help you improve both your local play performance and the streaming quality if you chose cloud gaming. If Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era starts feeling uneven during wide map exploration, cap the frame rate at 60 and lower shadows to medium. I'd keep TAA on for a cleaner image, but switch to SMAA if the picture looks too soft. I also recommend reflections off and SSAO to none. The other methods are a variation of this theme. GeForce Now is the best cloud solution with all the bells and whistles, but at double the price of Boosteroid, it's just not worth it, except for a handful of games which can use the latest and greatest effects. Like Boosteroid, it's very easy to use. You just need to register, get a subscription, download its app, and start the game from it. Sikarugir is the free DIY version of Crossover. It works great when it works, but it's more inconsistent, less intuitive, and has a lengthy setup. As for the setup, you first need to install Homebrew, then Sikarugir itself, then Steam, and then the actual game. The process takes a bit more time compared to the other methods here, and so is beyond the scope of this video. For detailed guidance on how to set up Sikarugir, just click the respective video in the description, and it will show you exactly what to do. Here's how I choose between the options. Crossover is the best local pick for Olden Era. It keeps input delay low, works without streaming, and lets you keep the game on your Mac instead of depending on a cloud session. It also makes the most sense if you care about future mods or just prefer owning the setup. Boosteroid is the most plug-and-play solution. You subscribe, launch the game, and avoid most of the compatibility layer guesswork. For a turn-based strategy game, the cloud trade-off is easier to accept because small latency spikes usually do not ruin the experience. GeForce Now is the premium cloud option. It is a good choice if you want the more polished streaming stack, but it is harder to justify purely on value if Boosteroid works well for you. Sikarugir is the free DIY local route. It can be viable, but right now it has less game-specific evidence, so expect more tinkering. My quick take is simple. Choose Crossover for the best local experience, Boosteroid for the easiest setup, and GeForce Now if you already pay for the premium cloud feel. So these were the best methods for playing this game. If you want to explore more popular gaming titles you can play on your Mac, check the videos that should now appear on your screen, or simply browse through our channel. Also, if you found this content helpful, we'd greatly appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribe to our channel. Take care and see you in the next one.